Ain't nobody got time for this. I hate that I had to do this morning with my wet hair, with my certain creators thing I've got on my head that I tend to wear when my hair is really screwed up, like right now, because it's all wet. Okay, if you don't know who I am, hey Noelle, I'm Suzanne Titkemeyer. I wrote for Pathos, No Longer Quivering for almost 10 years, and I worked on Pathos. I mean, not on Pathos, but on No Longer Quivering before that quite a bit. Hey, Hillbilly Vagabond. Love the name. Love the name. So I wanted to talk a little bit this morning about parasocial relationships and boundaries. Why? Well, I got this message. Dana Britt, hey, yeah, I'm doing okay, about as well as I can be doing considering. So I can't even get my nebulizer solution here now. So many people are out with asthma. It's getting really hard to obtain any asthma drugs. So I'm having to use this thing while I wait for them to order it and get me some. And this is like using a pellet gun when you need to use a shotgun. Excuse me, BB gun. This is my BB gun. I need the real McCoy, and I can't get it right now. I need, yeah, I carry my prescriptions around with me. How stupid the box is. I need this. And I can't get it. I can't get it. I can't get it anywhere here. So that's how I am. And that's another reason why I'm so ranty hostile, between the amount of caffeine I've had today, taking a shower, all the hostile, nasty chemicals I've been having to throw in my body because I'm too stupid to realize that I shouldn't engage with certain things like essential oils. I have to be real careful about that. Most essential oils, the companies, the cheaper ones, they extract using benzene, and I react every time. And yesterday, I opened a bottle. I did not realize they'd switched to benzene extraction, and yeah, real sick. So anyway, this morning I got up and I looked at my comments like always. Let me pull this up because it was really, 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 which is one of those comments that I busted out laughing at first because it was just pretty stupid. Right up there with like a Duggar fan comment where they accused me of naked dancing the hoochie coochie with the devil because I don't like their sacred person. No, well, most of them do to me too, but some of the organic ones I can use. And I like using the essential oils because you can do things like I make all my own cleansers because I'm so allergic to commercial ones. And my favorite one is one that I use with alcohol, lavender oil, and just a hair of dish soap. It is so wonderful for cleaning everything. So I make all my own cleaning supplies. I'll have to do that one day and give you all the recipes and all the breakdowns because there are a lot of really good things you can use to clean that are right in your kitchen cabinet that you could have for free. So, Noelle, I'm sorry you've had migraines. The only smell natural is vanilla. I like vanilla too. I like lavender because it is an antibacterial. It cleans things well. So I add that to my alcohol, which is also antiseptic because of that. Yeah, I've had to do this for years. I even make my own deodorant. My husband can tell you. I make my own deodorant. I don't stink any more than anybody else. And it's actually not too hard to do. There's so many things that are so easy. So anyway, I had to laugh when I got this comment because I said, I need to talk about boundaries again after getting this comment. There's somebody called Richard Williams, and I think I know that name from Facebook. I think it was someone who was trying to hit me up. I want to say this was one of the Nigerian romance scammers, or maybe it was someone trying to sell me something, or maybe I'm completely mistaken and it's an average person that's been trying to contact me. I don't know. The comment, and I couldn't see all of it because it cut off, and it's somebody apparently I've danced with the devil before on this with this person apparently, and I blocked them at some point. because it never even showed up on the actual post it was on. And it was on a post about therapists and how I was explaining how you have to really, 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 really explain what therapy is and what therapists, hey, always grateful, and what therapists actually do and how to figure out which ones are the right ones for you. This is what they commented. She always has an excuse when you ask her to do things. She starts to take longer to respond to your texts. She ignores calls, and when she does text back, it's usually one word replies. Okay, this person was referring to me, and here's the deal. Okay, I get so many messages every single day on social media, direct messages. And a lot of times it is people that are hurting and they're having problems. Hey, Christoph Ann. And if it's somebody I know, I'm very likely to answer back. If it's some rando that I've never talked to before and they start really, really demanding hunks of my time, then I go from friendly to one word answers. Why? Because I have a life. I have a full life, and I don't always have time to deal with all these people. So this is a real big boundary issue. And parasocial relationships on the internet are a strange thing to begin with. They don't really fit the patterns of normal relationships at all. If you know anything about me, I am open to talking to any of KJ's former subscribers that have come forward. One of them is everybody burps, and I've talked to her a little bit. I want to talk to her more when I have more air in me and all of that. So she's really been through some things. And KJ was not very nice to her when she was going through those things, apparently. And she has some info about Katie Joy collecting a lot of money for the Ronald McDonald House and then not paying it out. So one day soon, I'm going to do her story here. I'm going to talk to her if I can figure out how to do that. So anyway, we've talked about boundaries a lot of times. Okay. I want to drop a boundary on you that we have not talked about. The parasocial internet boundary. She seems really hurt from what she's posting. She is. She's very hurt. And some on Twitter have called her a troll and suggested that she was sent by Katie Joy. I don't think so after talking to her in Messenger a few times. I don't think so. I think she's a real deal. I think, I did a video where I said we need to embrace all those people coming out of her community who are hurt. We just do because there's no place for them to heal. But it becomes complex because of what happened with Tati Westbrook, what happened with Natalie and some of the others through the Tati Westbrook lawsuit that came forward and have proven what they are, like karma's enabler. That's another one. She just recently, I think within the last couple of months, has come out of KJ. She's really, everybody burps has really, really, really a horrible story. She's had cancer. She's lost a child. She donated a lot of money to KJ, apparently, and to the Ronald McDonald House fundraiser to no avail. And of course, KJ has been cruel to her, openly cruel to her. And you know how KJ is when you start talking about a dead child or you start talking about some sort of trauma. If she can't use it, she tells you to shut up because you're wasting space that should be what do you call it? Should be spent on her, worshiping her. When I think about her, I think about the song from the early days of my Christianity. Instead of saying it's all about you, Jesus, it's all about me. As if I should do things my way. I alone am God, and you will surrender to me now. That's what I think of when I think of a lot of her things, that silly song. And poor Burps she's heartbroken. So there is that. So there's a part of me that does respond to these horribly broken people. Horribly, horribly broken people. and I will talk to them at least some. When anybody starts going crazy stalker like on me, though, I'm just done with it. So I just wanted to encourage you all to have good, firm relationship boundaries with everybody in your life, not just online. It really pays to have that. I had to stand up for one of my boundaries this morning when my husband said, "Oh, you're going to church with me," because I'd remarked that the COVID rates here are down for the first time. And I'd say, no, asthma trumps church. I'm sorry, but it does. And he was upset, but I don't think he was too surprised because I did spend most of the day in the bed yesterday. Dawn, KJ is Katie Joy. She has a YouTube channel called Without a Crystal Ball. I trained her at Pathos when she was a writer there, and she washed out after less than a year. The problem with her is she's got a child that is, I don't want to say special needs because I hate that word. I hate that phrase. She has a medically fragile child. And she came onto Pathos to write specifically about how you handle your day-to-day life without Christianity or any other kind of faith when you have a chronically ill child. I'm sorry, I can feel I'm not getting much air. I'm not getting as much air in as I absolutely need. So that's what KJ is. A lot of people oppose her because she lives on gossip and lies. When she was with Pathio, she came on to talk about her child. She ended up doing celebrity gossip. And that was where she started doing all of her defamation statements against Todd Chrisley. She started saying that he was gay. She said that he had a sex tape on his daughter, who was blackmailing her. It's horrible, horrible things. So when she left Pathos, I was actually kind of relieved. It's like I don't have to deal with her anymore. But she went on to steal content from myself and a ton of other places. That's why I don't like her, because of that. She stole content. She stood me up one day when I was supposed to be on her YouTube channel, and she asked me a bunch of times to do it, and I finally said yes. So she recently put a post about why she is not going to the drug trial, right? Yes. And I need to talk about that too, because that's plays into these parasocial boundaries. Okay. The problem with parasocial boundaries is when people see you on these things, they feel like they really know you. They feel like they really know her. They really know everybody else. It's not a big deal with me because I am the same on here as I am off. People that know me and know me well know that. My kids even watch me here sometimes. Um, I bring my husband on here every Sunday afternoon to talk about Love After Lockup because that's our big mutual obsession, is that stupid show. So Katie recently completely ignored all parasocial boundaries like she tends to do, and announced that she was going to the Josh Duggar trial. The trial, it starts, I think it's after Thanksgiving. I want to say like maybe the 30th. It's after Thanksgiving. The trial starts in Arkansas in federal court. Okay. It's a trial about CP, all the things he's been accused of. KJ had something of a relationship with Amy Duggar King. They talked on the phone. They looked at each other. They talked on the phone. She had Amy on her show several times, stuff like that. So she was posting all this about how she was going to go stay with Amy in Arkansas. She said that Amy and Amy's mother wanted her there as moral support and security while they went through the stupid trial, while they went to the trial. And I was reading that and thinking, oh, yeah, something will come up between now and then that will prevent you from going to the trial, and chances are it will be medical related. And I was thinking at the time, if Amy is that close to her, I mean, that's awful. She was talking about earlier with her lawsuits, several lawsuits. I'm still very leery too. Still very leery. Yes, yes, yes. I did do that. not to her, but encouraging her to, yeah, because I wanted her to donate. Because when you make your living doing what she's doing, and I had no idea before I started talking like Steve McRae and stuff that it was even possible. I didn't even know any of this. I was totally, and it's not my motivation. It took me long enough to get monetized because I'm in Costa Rica and they have different rules if you're living somewhere else. So the thing about, I lost my train of thought. I got to go back to it. Lyrica, I hate your guts sometimes. Okay, so she said she was doing all this. Amy Duggar King made fun of redneck, no, not redneck, I'm sorry, Backwoods Barbie. Sometimes does go by Redneck Barbie for her music. She made fun of her and denied, and then KJ made a big thing about it. Then she denied she was making fun of Backwoods Barbie, and she called her up and apologized to her. It was all cool. Then she did a video that where she didn't really take responsibility. KJ blamed her for it, then took it down, her apology. Then Amy apologized again, and then she made all these comments about how KJ was not staying with her. They asked nobody for moral support, and they weren't even going to the trial, which I believe the truth of the matter, and it always was. Well, so KJ came up with this story about how her son is too medically fragile for her to ever travel to the trial. I knew that was coming. Where I think that KJ screwed up is she thought her parasocial relationship with Amy. There's my cat. There's one of my cats. Hey, Pork. Look over my shoulder, Pork. She is going way too far. And I think that Backwards Barbie's a little paranoid too. And I have to talk about that. So these parasocial relationships get violated all the time. And it hurts everybody is what happens when people start doing that. Because it created this whole mess for KJ that she had to back off on because she thought that Amy Duggar King was her real life friend, her bestie ride and die, which when Amy got pushback, hey, Pork, she did not, she waited no time to throw KJ under the bus. So I'm not sure that Amy ever intended for her to stay. I think she thought a relationship with Lindsay is the same. One thinks they're closer than the other. I believe that is the truth, Noelle, because at the beginning of her troubles with Todd Chrisley, she said she had 3 reality show stars that would vouch for her. And I know she was talking Amy Duggar King. She was talking Lindsay Chrisley, and I don't know who the third one is. And maybe she was thinking Derek Dillard might stand up for her. But she made that mistake with her parasocial relationships. She is quick to draw the boundary when her own subscribers think they're having a relationship with her, and she attacks them for thinking that they're having a relationship with her. All kinds of suspicions and theories on all of it. Always grateful. I do too. I have a few. I never feel bad for KJ though. Yeah, some people are just rotten to the core. No, well, I think so. Did everybody see that a former friend of hers is answering questions on Reddit? Somebody asked a question that I wanted to know, which was, did she ever talk about wanting to be a journalist or a writer? Somebody asked that. And I was pleased to see, she said no, she just said she liked to write. A lot of people like to write. That didn't make everybody good at it, unfortunately. So there's been some boundaries, some serious ones violated there. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't appreciate people, because obviously we all do. And there are some people, when they contact me, I always respond back. But sometimes it takes time, and people get very offended by that. I remember when I was doing NLQ, I did a piece on Josh Duggar, one of his many, many, many scandals. And this person was defending Josh Duggar. They made over 172 posts in 4 hours. The problem was that I was up in, oh, what was the name of that place they lived at then? I was up in Centerville with my kids at their house, and we had all gone swimming at one of the local public pools, and then we had gone and had a picnic there at Bull Run Park. So by the time I got home, it was like 8 or 9 o'clock that night. I'd been gone since maybe 11. So I was gone a long stretch of time. And they had completely filled up the moderation queue, and they had gone from, hey, I think you're wrong, to die, bish, die. Because everything was sitting in the moderation queue and they didn't have any patience whatsoever. So if you have a creator or even somebody on the internet you look up to and you expect them to answer you, it might take some time. Not everybody looks at everything every minute. No, well, most creators are very interested in their subscribers. I know I am. And I consider you guys my friends in important ways. But the reality is there's only so many hours in the day, and you have to learn to prioritize, is one of the things that I learned with an LQ. When I learned I was doing no longer quivering, you have to prioritize. If you contact me with a terrible story of what's happened to you, I'm going to listen to you a whole lot more. There are some people that when they contact me, I'm always happy to talk to them, even if I may have limited time, and that happens too. But at the same time, you have to have some boundaries in place in your parasocial relationships. I mean, even between each other, between subscribers talking to each other, between people talking to each other on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever. Because again, there's not enough hours of the day. I'm lucky today I'm sitting around, I'm doing nothing because of the asthma. But normally I'm running around here, going to the beach, we're doing this, we're doing that. I'm in my sewing room, I'm in my art studio painting or something. And there's always things going on. And I know everybody has a life. So Noelle, I have no problem with disagreeing with people. That's one of the things that was so wonderful yesterday on Twitter. I started asking people about turkey. Here in Costa Rica, like, okay, so here's a good example. Friday, I wasn't hardly answering anybody. Why? Because I had to drive to Liberia. Liberia is this town about an hour from here. It's where the airport is that we fly in and out of. It's the nicest airport I've seen anywhere in Central America because it's mostly rich gringos use it. That's all it is. It's for those of us that live here and fly in and out. Very few Ticos you'll ever see flying in and out of there. It's strictly tourist dollars. So I go to Liberia once every 2 to 3 weeks to a month. There is a Price Mart there, which is the cousin of Costco. Same products. Sometimes you see Kirkland brands there. And a lot of times you see things like, not just Kirkland. You will see their brand and it will be same font. Everything is Kirkland. It's the same thing as Kirkland. So it's a place that a lot of us go to get American things. This is driving me nuts. To get American things. Yeah, I got to pull it up because I keep playing with it. So I went there the other day. 3 weeks ago, I bought a ham. I bought a good size ham that is going to stay good long enough for me to have it for Thanksgiving. Stuck that in my fridge. It wasn't too expensive. It was like $20. I thought, well, I'll pick up a turkey. Well, I got there and their butter balls started at $75 and went up to about $125. And I told my husband, I said, ooh, we're going to pass the turkey this year if it's going to be that expensive. And I've never bought it there before. So it was a long trip. I was gone all day long, came home to a pile of messages, didn't answer any of them for a while because unless you're one of my children or family members texting me while I'm out at Costco, Price Mart, I'm not going to answer because it uses my data on my phone and I'm just not going to because I'm busy with other stuff usually. Yeah, that price was crazy. So yesterday I asked about turkey. He said, is there a shortage in the U.S.? What are the prices running? And we had this very long, very lovely conversation where nobody was fighting for once. We were talking about Thanksgiving, recipes, all sorts of things, the price of gas, the price of turkey. And I found out that turkey has gone up in the US too. It is shortage in some areas. So we're not having turkey this year. And so it was good we were able to firm up our plans. It was also good that we had this long, refreshing dialogue on Twitter where nobody was fighting and nobody was throwing shade at anybody else. I live for that stuff outside of the KJ community. So there's that. And I learned that we're not doing turkey. We're going out to eat for turkey. Hickory honey ham. But if you're not a fan of Christmas with the cranks, it wouldn't be funny. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I really like that honey hickory honey ham. So we're not having turkey as a result. So that happened. And it was a good thing. I'd like to see more of that going on Twitter. So basically, wherever your parasocial line is with others, it's where you need it to be. It's not where the other person needs it to be. I follow various creators too. This morning I was posting on Kelsey's YouTube channel. He premiered a video where he was debunking all these flying myths. 7-4 Gear is the name of the channel. I'll put the link in the description. If you're interested in aviation at all, great channel. But Kelsey has never once answered one of my questions and or comments. And I don't freak out about that because it is what it is. I know he's a busy commercial pilot. I'm sure he reads them all. Same thing with Dr. Jordan Wagner. I love his videos. I comment frequently, but he never answers, and I'm okay with that. He doesn't have to answer. That is his boundary. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Whatever a creator and or anybody else on the internet does to answer you or not answer you is really up to them. The ones that I have the objection to are ones like our friend without a box of Kleenex, who does not answer, not doesn't not answer people. She answers people rudely and says nasty things to them. Oh my, I'm gonna have to go. This is my husband. I gotta take this. I have no choice. So you guys have a great day, and I'll see you later.